James Swanwick here from the Alcohol Free Lifestyle. Great to have you here. Today we're talking to Brad Kelly, 44, who is a horse rancher in Canada. He is a father of two with another one on the way. Very exciting. And Brad has just completed 92 days alcohol free. And he's going to be talking a little bit about how his relationship with his wife was a little strange because he was drinking 12 to 15 beers a day. That's a lot. In fact, he estimated he was spending about $2,000 a month on beer, and some wine for his wife as well, which is a lot. That's about 24 grand a year. He joined our Project 90 experience, and now he's 92 days alcohol free as we recorded the episode which you're about to listen to. Just a reminder that Project 90, if you're listening to this before October 1st, Project 90, this is your last chance to go 3 months consecutive alcohol-free inside of 2021. Can you believe that we're coming up to the final quarter of the year, 2021? So October 1st until the end of December is 3 months. If you would like to join us in that experience, now's the time to do so. If you want to celebrate New Year's Eve alcohol-free and surge into 2022, finally having power over your drinking habits. You can apply to be part of that at alcoholfreelifestyle.com/schedule, where you can book a no-obligation exploratory call with one of our coaches and get all the details. The price does go up on October 1st. Our prices are going up across the board. We have increasing demand of people who are wanting to be a part of our program. And we haven't put the price up in 12 months. So it's, October 1st. So now's the time if you want to lock in what has been our price if you want to lock that in and get that now, then obviously you have to do that before October 1st. But you can do it any time. It's just the price will be a little bit higher. And if you are wanting to do this inside of 2021, now is the time to take action. That link again is alcoholfreelifestyle.com/schedule. You can also send me a text to the number 44222 if you're in the US. Just text me the word Project 90 and I will text you back a link to that schedule where you can book in a call with one of our coaches. Likewise, if you want me to send you our free alcohol freedom formula, you can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. That is a PDF guide that I'll send out to you, which gives you the same process that I walk through all of our Project 90 members inside of Project 90. It'll show you how to socialize without drinking. It'll show you what to drink instead. It'll tell you what to expect in the first 7 to 10 days that you quit drinking. It'll walk you through some scripts on what to say to people when they're encouraging you to have a drink, and just give you an overview about what to expect from an alcohol-free life. So that link is alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. Okay, let's talk with Brad Kelly. Really interesting guy, wonderful Canadian, and learned a lot about horse sales. Really interesting stuff. Learned a lot about horse ranching as a result of this conversation. So if you want to know how folks breed horses, sell horses, how much a horse can sell for, well, listen up. Brad's also going to share his experience inside of Project 90. So if you are curious about that, towards the end of the conversation, he starts to talk about, what happened from the moment that he enrolled to the moment that we celebrated him a couple days ago, being 90 days alcohol-free, and what the plan is for the future now. So here he is, Brad Kelly, 92 days alcohol-free. How did you get into the horse business, Brad?
Well, since I was a kid, we were always into horses. My mother was a trainer and show person. And once I decided to stop at the oil field, I started to heavily invest in really top dollar mares, and just went from there. Now we're pretty successful in it. We've been NRHA top 20 owners for a few years now, and it just depends on the horses we have in the show pen that year. Sometimes we are, sometimes we aren't. But it's something that I always wanted to do, and once I was able to do that, then I kind of went full in.
So you said that you used to be in the oil business, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the drilling rigs.
Drilling rigs, okay. And then how did you make that transition from drilling rigs in the oil business to horse breeder and horse rancher?
I came, well, to tell you the truth, I won the lottery.
Yeah, you did?
I did. It's not something I usually talk about, but I made really good money before, but then we ended up with a little bit of a windfall that was allowed me to quit the oil field business and get into the horse business.
Wow, okay. What year was that?
2014.
Got it. Was it where'd you buy your ticket? From a gas station or something? Or how did it play out, if you're comfortable sharing?
Yeah, no, it was I was on days off, I was on holidays, and I went to go pick up my daughter, and we stopped at a gas station. I just stopped for a cherry Dr. Pepper, and I always just buy a lottery ticket, right? And then it kind of went from there.
Well done. Well, congratulations. Yeah. And so was that what transitioned you into from doing, working in the oil rig business to doing what maybe was your passion in the horse business? Is that how it played out?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, and so I'd also invested in a directional drilling company, and then we got that going and sold that. And so now I have nothing to do with the oil field business anymore, and here I am.
Yeah. So just tell us a little bit about your ranch. Where is it? How big is it? Just describe it for us for the uninitiated in horse ranching.
Okay, we're about an hour and a half north of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So we're about an hour and a half east of the Rocky Mountains, and a little town called Ponoka, Alberta. One of the biggest rodeos in the world is actually in our town. And my ranch is 164 acres. We mainly breed quarter horses, performance horses. We also breed bucking bulls and some Angus.
Got it. And what do you do with the horses that you breed there?
What we do with them, so we have a lot of top show mares here, and after their show career, we bring them here and then we breed them, flush embryos, and put them into recipient mares and all that stuff, so we can get multiple foals per year. And once they're yearlings, we send them down south to get started as 2-year-olds, and then get marketed, shown, and sold. And then that's where they start their careers as show horses, is down in Texas and Oklahoma.
And what can a horse usually sell for? What's an average horse sale for you?
Okay, so average for your mid-level horses, we're probably looking at about 30 to 50,000, and then our higher level, which we have a few mares that produce that consistently, then you're looking at, if you with yourself, if you train them up and show them till they're about 3-year-olds, then between 300,000 and 500,000 US is not hard to do.
Wow. Okay. So $500,000 you can get for a good horse.
Yep.
Amazing. All right. And now you're a father of 2 and you've got one on the way, and you were drinking a little bit more than what you liked before you enrolled in our Project 90 experience. And as we're recording this today, you're about 92 days or so alcohol free. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, great. So just paint a picture for us, if you will. What was your alcohol-filled life before you embarked on this 90 days alcohol-free? Just paint a little picture for us, if you will.
Okay. So basically, it got, being home all the time and not working away, it got really easy to, at the end of the day, get into the beer, whether it's a hot day or whatever, or you finish a job with your friends and all that stuff. Anyway, after a while, it kind of got to the point where every couple of days I was drinking a case of beer or better. It was too easy, and I felt that it was really impeding my ability to really be a good member of the team here on the ranch, right? Like, I mean, we're a team here, whether it's us here or the people we deal with down south. And there's a lot of times where, I'd be in bed late or just not want to deal with the phone calls that I needed to deal with. And I needed to be a better help around here. And I felt like I couldn't be a good influence on the people that work here if I'm not pulling the weight that they're pulling. So to me, it was getting just a little bit out of hand. I've always been able to drink a lot or not drink at all for a few days, but it was just getting too easy, and I was getting too out of touch with what was going on around here. So it was, it must have been when I was drinking or something like that, where I had maybe looked into it. I don't remember why your program kept on coming up on my emails, but at one point there, I just figured, okay, well, it's enough. I want to do more with my life than sit in the shop after the day's done and drink. So I guess I reached out to your program, and that's where we went.
When you say you were drinking beer, what quantity of beer were you drinking? What brand of beer, and what time would you start drinking the beer? What time would you finish?
I usually start drinking the beer at about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and finish at about 10 or 11 at night. But I'd probably pack in 12 to 15 in that period of time.
Were you drinking Canadian beer or US beer? What brand were you drinking?
US beer, Miller High Life. For some reason, I just love that, right? And it was always a treat for me before it was available in Canada. It was always a treat for me to go across into the United States and have my Miller High Life. And then all of a sudden, it became available in Canada. And once it became available in Canada, boy, I bought a lot of it. My friend who owns a liquor store, he delivered to me once a week.
Mm.
And he'd deliver about 8 to 10 cases
a week.
Yeah. And I didn't drink all of it. Like my friends and stuff would drink quite a bit of it too. But I mean, at least 10 cases a week we'd go through in this shop. And, so my monthly bill with my friend would probably be around that $1,800 to $2,000, depending on how much wine my wife was drinking.
Mm.
So you're looking at least $2,000 a month just being pissed.
Yeah. That's pretty sizable. And you were drinking, you said, about 8 to 10 beers a day. Is that right? Maybe more?
Probably about 12 to 15 on the days that I did. Right.
Okay, so 12 to 15 beers. Got it. And did you ever get drunk doing this, or were you just like a little buzzed, or were you fine? Like, how did it feel when you were drinking 12 to 15 beers over a day?
Sometimes, I'd be drunk. I mean, I was able to handle it. Like, I was able to hold my alcohol pretty well. Over time, it got to the point where I could function very well on it. And, but of course, I didn't think I was too bad, but if I look back at it now, I probably was, because I'm sure I got a little louder and a little bit more belligerent, and I probably didn't have the filter on my mouth that I should have,
Did anyone give you that? I'm sorry, go ahead.
So my wife once in a while, right, would, say, I think you've had a little too much or whatever, but that was once in a while. But it's like once in a while, I think it depends on the day, how much sleep I had, or how much I ate or whatever. A lot of times I wouldn't eat if I drank. My appetite would be gone if I drank. And so I'd spend my whole day without eating, drinking beer, or the whole afternoon. And on those days, then, I could get, if my wife got mad at me, then I would probably come back at her 10 times, And so I'm, sometimes I've caught myself saying some pretty vicious stuff. But it didn't happen like that a lot. It was like on occasion I'd be like that. But unfortunately, I was able to handle quite a lot of beer.
Sounds like you recognize maybe you weren't being the best leader that you could have been, both in your family and in the business.
Yeah, that's 100%. That's kind of why I was starting to look for something, I guess. And whether you found me or I found you, I don't know, because I might have been drunk that night looking for something.
Yeah. And was there one incident or was it a series of incidents that inspired you to maybe go online and search for something like to maybe for you to get power over your drinking habits? Like, was there something that happened? Do you remember a time or a moment or a week or a phase?
No, I don't remember anything like that. I was never really too embarrassed about my drinking. That's just, a lot of us around here, that's just what we do, right? I got a lot of friends that do that. I think I just personally got sick of it. And so a lot of people say if you want to quit something, you have to be ready. And I think I just was getting ready to, I was getting sick of it. So I think I was ready to stop.
Mm,
So,
yeah.
and maybe that's why this wasn't that difficult for me, because maybe I was ready. Maybe I'd had enough. Yeah. And, I've partied pretty hard since I was a kid. So I think it was just at that point where I was ready and I was tired. So it was time.
Yeah, sounds that way. It sounds like you maybe you had some anecdotal evidence with your wife saying you've drunk too much and you realize you weren't eating properly because you were drinking in the afternoon. Maybe you realized that you said some things you shouldn't have said, and all of those things cumulatively got to a point where you felt ready to take action. Yeah, you mentioned some health issues, some heart palpitations or some twitching in the legs. What happened there? Tell me a little bit about
that. No, I've had heart palpitations for quite a while now. They just come and go. Last time it was probably 10 years ago. The last time the doctors or cardiologists checked for it, and they just say, you just got heart palpitations. You're fine. But drinking that much, well, obviously, is not good for your heart. But after stop, and I wasn't paying attention to it much. I guess I just learned to live with it. But after not drinking now for 90 days, it's almost non-existent. And I don't know what was going on with my legs, because they just sit there and twitch, especially after drinking the next morning, laying in bed. My calf muscles would just twitch and move on their own. And, I think I attribute that to drinking too much too. So, and now that's not really existent either. So I never did get checked out for that, but maybe I should.
Yeah. I mean, heart palpitations and leg muscle twitching, that's not nothing.
No.
I'm not a doctor, but I'm like, I don't know. That doesn't sound like it's supposed to be happening. Put it that way.
No. And, it's kind of freaky. But like I said, now after 90 days, it's really toned down a lot, and it's almost non-existent now.
Yeah.
So obviously we had something going on there where my body's telling me to stop.
Yeah. You started eating in the afternoon and the evening now?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm smoking a turkey on the Traeger right now. It's happening. Yeah.
Okay. And then as a result of being alcohol free, how's your relationship been with your wife? How's your relationships been with your colleagues and your staff?
Good. It's been really good. With the wife, it's been great. There's been no battles or anything like that. It's just been, we get through the day and we talk about what needs to be done, and throughout the day, like our daily plans and what's coming down the pipeline in the future and all that stuff. And I guess we come to better resolutions. Definitely now.
Oh, it's wonderful to hear.
Yeah, and especially with workers, they're looking for a decision on something, it's without a foggy hangover brain, you can make a sound decision a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently.
Yeah. Has your wife or any staff given you any feedback as to this 92-day alcohol-free version of Brad?
Oh, the wife's really proud of me. She said I walk around with a little bit more purpose now. The workers don't say nothing to me. I don't know if they're afraid to or not, but my good friend Josh, he works for me, and he didn't think I'd make a week.
Is that right?
Yeah. He said, "You won't make a week. You love beer too much." And I said, "Well, just watch me." And anyway, now here we are at 90 days, and he's still, "You must have drank something, right?" And I'm like, "No, no, I didn't." I still, in my fridge here in the shop, there's still probably 5 cases of beer in there that haven't been touched.
Yeah. So it's sitting there in front of you, but you don't have the motivation to open it and drink it.
No, I don't. I honestly do not have. I come in here, I come into my shop, and this is where I drink beer and tinker with things and fix things and whatever. But I just don't feel like it. I honestly can say that I don't feel like it. And it was probably after about day 30 that I felt like that. And and this is probably the longest I've ever gone without drinking since I was a teenager. It was when I was a teenager in high school. From 14 on, at least once a month, we were going to a party and drinking with our friends, right? And so 3 months it's kind of crazy to say, but 90 days is probably the longest I've gone since I was 14. Unless I was working somewhere for that much time, but
Yeah, well done, mate. Well done.
Yeah.
And then in terms of, I think you said you've got more energy and clarity, which has been showing up in your profession in terms of selling the horses. And can you estimate how many more prospects or sales or business deals with the horses you've been able to do in the last 92 days as a result of this newfound energy and clarity?
Yeah. Okay. So I've picked up a really good prospect. And so I made a really good decision on that. We'll be able to turn around and sell that one for, I bought that one for 12,000. I'll probably be able to turn around and sell that one next year for over 100. Yeah, with the ones that we already own that are down south, I mean, that's more kind of Fred's area, but I've been bringing more people to Fred and helping Fred to get some sales done. Part of the business is buying as well and making sound decisions that way, because we want to buy them for a certain price and then turn around and sell them later on for a certain price. And so we've done that with a few, and I'm pretty sure we're going to profit by 50,000 on probably 3 of them. So
yeah, so if profit 50K on 3 of them.
Yeah, it's complicated business, right? It's seasonal sales type thing. You get a few sales in the slow season, and then come the fall, it really picks up. But I'm more involved for this fall. I'm ready for it. We have a lot of good futurity horses that I'm going to sell for a lot of money come November.
It seems like you're aware that the additional clarity and the energy in this alcohol-free version of Brad is contributing to the business.
100%. I think I didn't want this business to fail, and I thought that if I kept going the way I was, it was bound to fail at some point. So I needed to, instead of leaving everything to my wife or my workers for decisions and all that stuff, I needed to take the bull by the horns and take the reins and, drive it the direction I needed to drive it.
Yeah, got it. So it sounds like you got a pretty successful business. Seems like a seven-figure business. It was heading in a direction where it may have collapsed. Is that right? Is that fair?
That could be fair. I mean, my wife, she deals with things pretty good, but she had a lot on her plate, and I think she was starting to get pretty stressed. And I guess I needed to take some of that stress off for her as well. But yeah, no, I mean, I think in any business, if you're not involved, if everybody's not involved, then at some point it's gonna collapse, you know. And I didn't want to be that wink link that caused that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah, and
got
so
that.
we need our business to go strong, and I mean, we have the mare power, like the good mares, and we have a good stallion and all that stuff, and our brand name in the industry has become uh, a very good brand that people want to go to. And so I just couldn't, I don't think I would have been able to make it last if I kept on going the way I was.
I get it.
So if that makes sense to you, you know,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
whether it, would have been, a couple of years down the road or 10 years down the road, doesn't make a difference. I need something that my kids can have to hang on to for a while. Right.
Yeah. Tell us about your kids, and you've got one on the way as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Starting over again pretty late. My daughter, she's through college and all that stuff, and now she's an occupational therapist. She lives about 3.5 hours south of here. Anyway, we got her through college and all that stuff, so she's on her own doing her thing. Of course, that was with a different previous relationship, but now with my wife, we've been trying to get pregnant since we were married 12 years ago or so, and it never worked out. And then all of a sudden we're in our 40s and bam, bam. It, it kind of shocked us, but here we are in our 40s having little ones. So my son Carson, he's turning 2 in December. He's a handful. Cute as heck, but man, he's you need to have a lot of energy to keep up with him, and that's why having kids in your mid 20s to mid 30s, I think, is about the best thing to do. There's another reason for quitting to drink, because he's hard to keep up with, man.
Yeah.
So, and then another one on the way. Well, that's going to be even busier. So we have one coming in February, which is the due date's right around my birthday, which is February 18th. So we'll see what happens.
Do you feel like you're in a better, stronger place being alcohol free to support your wife and to be a more present or better father?
For sure. Yeah. It's, I think it's a lot more fun playing with Carson and chasing him around when you're sober than it is when you're hungover. You know, I mean, you can have a lot of fun when you're drinking and chasing him around, but that only lasts for so long.
Mm.
So, yeah.
So what was your Project 90 experience like? Maybe there's a listener here who's entertaining the idea of joining us. Maybe they're almost ready or they feel ready. So what? Maybe you can just like pretend you're speaking to someone who wants to ask you a million questions. Hey, what's Project 90? What do you get out of it? What happens? Maybe you could just, in your own words, describe what it was and what you got out of it.
I don't, what I got out of it, I think it's the people there. The coaches are incredible. The people in the polos and the people in the Zoom meetings, you realize that you're not the only one out there that has issues, right? And there's a lot of great people, a lot of great successful people that obviously have some great similarities in that sort of area. And people you'd never think that would have a drinking problem are on there that do. But the support system, especially with those Marco Polos and all that stuff, that's what'll get you through, because there's so many people showing you their vulnerabilities and speaking from the heart, and you really realize how many people are so similar, and that support structure with everybody in there is it just keeps you going, keeps you wanting to be successful with this challenge. And I'll tell you, I was scared shitless the first time, when I with Alfie on the call there, because they said I couldn't pay any other way than give me a credit card number over the phone. And but I did anyway. And anyway, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? And but it worked out great. All the coaches and Coach Victoria is awesome, and Sarah. It's I'm just trying to put it into words. I guess I'm better at writing things down than I am at putting into words in a conversation. But I didn't think that this program would be what it is. But I mean, I would recommend it to anybody. It's, you realize that we're not all a bunch of raging alcoholics. We just have life issues, busy lives, and we need help getting through that and getting to the other side of this alcohol issue. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny that you had a fear that we were going to take your credit card, take your money, and probably I'd take a flight down to Mexico and order some tequilas and sit on the beach laughing, going, ha ha ha, I fleeced that Brad Kelly out of his money. Let me have a drink to celebrate.
It happens, right? It happens in this world, and I was pretty scared about that. But then I had talked to Victoria, and I felt quite a bit at ease after talking to Victoria.
Mm. Yeah, you're referencing our coach, Victoria English, and Alfie is one of our enrollment coaches as well. And when Brad was talking about Marco Polo's there, Marco Polo is an app, a phone app that we use where members, our clients, can communicate with each other between Zoom calls via like video selfie messages. So think of it like a Facebook group, but instead of you typing messages to each other, you're recording little video selfies to each other. It's a way of creating a really connected community of other like-minded high performers. And it felt like you've said that you were rubbing shoulders with other successful people. Did you feel like the community was filled with other entrepreneurs or professionals, that kind of experience? Is that what you were referencing?
Yes. Yeah. They say if you want to be successful, always surround yourself with successful people. And that's what I felt like in that group. There's a lot of great people, like with brilliant minds. And it shows, like there's a lot of, when you start talking to some of these people in the Zoom meetings and stuff, and you realize how many really brilliant people there are involved with this program. And once you see that, you realize that maybe your problems that you're trying to hide with alcohol, you're not the only one. And maybe it's not that, maybe there's more to life than sitting around drinking beer. And you start to realize that with everybody. And so I'm just trying to find the words to describe it. So when you're talking with like-minded people like that, successful people, and you're doing it together, it just makes it that much more easier to accomplish.
Yeah. Great. So what's the plan now, Brad?
I don't know. I guess, maybe we'll look into Beyond 90, the next program coming up. I'll look into that, and we'll see. Hopefully that's not as expensive.
Beyond 90 is a year-long program that we have for people who graduate Project 90. So when people finish Project 90, they've got power over alcohol. But what's next? That's what comes up. What's next? And so we help a lot of our clients who choose to join us in that with leadership training, with health and nutrition, mindset, dealing with stress and anxiety, improving sleep. The conversation and the coaching is now less around alcohol specifically, but more around what do you want to create in your life? Let's help you create it.
And I'm digging that. I'm really interested in that. Like I said, lots of successful people on there, and I'd like to be involved with that.
Mm. Well, you and I we can have a private conversation about that after this. But yeah, it's because for a lot of people, it's not so much I mean, people join Project 90 because they realize that they've got a drinking issue and they want to get alcohol out of their life, or at the very least, they want to get power over their drinking habits. But the real work a lot of clients share with me really begins on day 90. Like because now you've got this clarity, this focus, this energy, and it's like, well, what do I do with this clarity and this focus and energy? And how do I navigate all these other things that are coming up in life? And we've had people who've, during the 90 days have got clarity that they shouldn't be in the marriage that they're in. One of our clients, she's 55. She and her husband decided that they're going to separate and get divorced. And she just shared with us recently that she's going to that she shared the news with her grown adult sons, and that was one of the hardest things that she'd ever done. But then the next day realized that she felt amazing, and it was like a big burden that had been lifted off her shoulders, and she was thrilled with the way that her sons had supported both her and her husband, and so she's really excited for the future. So, like clarity doesn't necessarily always mean euphoric breakthroughs. It does for her, but obviously, to get to that stage, you've got to kind of run through rose bushes and get beat up a little bit before you sort of get to the other end. And it's like, oh, it's beautiful here. So, sometimes having clarity can stir a lot of shit up, excuse my French, because for years you've been pushing issues down the road, kicking the can down the road, and you've been numbing yourself with alcohol, distracting yourself from issues that kind of intuitively you need to deal with. So it's not always comfortable. It's not like you quit drinking and all of a sudden you're skipping down the street singing, "My, oh my, what a wonderful day," and you're whistling and you smile. I mean, it can mean that. That's what happens to many people. But for many others, it can feel like running through rose bushes, getting cut up by the thorns, until it doesn't. Until you come out the other side, and then you've got, wow, what do I get to create? I've got this blank canvas. What do I get to do now? Can any of that resonate with you, Brad?
Sure. I think for me, I found in 90 days, I found the Brad that's been gone for a long time, and you really grow as a person, and so yeah, I mean, and I know the woman you're talking about, she's wonderful, very intelligent and very articulate, just a great person. And, that doesn't surprise me. I guess at some point there's some people that have just been kind of slogging through life and just been, it's just good enough, I guess, for now. And then all of a sudden, boom, her mind's clear, and I guess she needs to go. Her outlook for the rest of her life obviously doesn't follow the path of her husband. So good for her, and I wish her the best. And I don't feel like leaving my wife, just so everybody knows.
Especially your wife. Especially important that you let your wife know. Yeah.
Yeah. But I definitely feel like there's huge doors opening, and like you said, at first, you're not, dancing around rose bushes or anything like that. I mean, you got a lot of mental hurdles to get through, and that's what you learn a lot about yourself in the Zoom meetings. But I mean, right now I feel like I can conquer the world. So
love that. Well, Brad, congratulations on your success inside of the program, and I'm really excited for what's to come for you. Good luck with the birth of your third child in come February. That's very exciting, and I hope you sell lots of amazing top quality horses, and that you continue to be a great leader in your business, and that the ranch is wildly successful. And I might get myself off to a gas station and buy myself a lotto ticket. Maybe I'll give myself a shot, huh?
If you don't play, you don't win. But I'd say thank you for the opportunity. I mean, it to me is more than an opportunity. It was like a gift that I didn't know I needed. And So I'd really like to thank you for the opportunity and your program. And I think you have a winner there.
You're welcome, Brad. And thank you for the kind words. I so appreciate you. Brad Kelly, 44, horse rancher from Canada. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I want to load you up with some free stuff. If you look in the show description, there's a link there to get my guide, which is the Alcohol Freedom Formula Guide. And in that guide, I will walk you through the process and system for successfully reducing or quitting alcohol. It's the same system and process that I give to my clients inside of Project 90. And if you would like to get your hands on that guide, you can click the link in the description part of this episode, or you can go to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/guide. Likewise, if you would like to be considered for Project 90 to join our community and get some accountability, some coaching, and have fun, achieve some goals over at least 90 days with our help and support, then you're invited to schedule a complimentary coaching call with one of my coaches. You can do that by clicking the link in the show description or going to alcoholfreelifestyle.com/schedule. Now, Project 90 is for over 30s only, and it's really for people who are ready to get long-term power over alcohol. You don't have to quit forever, but you will have to quit for at least 90 days with our support. Just a reminder, 95% of my content is free and plastered all over the internet. If you just Google James Swanwick and the word alcohol, you'll find that. For those of you who want additional support, if you want coaching, fun, accountability, if you realize that you can't do this on your own or you just plain don't want to, then I invite you to schedule that call and we can talk about if Project 90 is for you. If you would like to take some of my supplements, swanvitality.com is the website. I'll put a link in the show notes as well. I have a liver support product called Loving Liver, which I designed and specially formulated to help remove toxins from your liver after years of alcohol consumption. Again, there's a link in the show description. We've also got a green powder there, which turns into a green juice filled with amazing ingredients to support you and give you energy throughout the day. And there's also a magnesium product, which I take every night to help me prepare for sleep and to sleep through the night. So there's a few options there. Lastly, if this episode or the show in general has helped you or supported you in any way, I would so appreciate it if you would write a review. It really does help the show climb the rankings and expose the show to people who don't yet know about us. So if this show has benefited you in any way and you feel compelled to pay it forward, just writing a short little review, hopefully a nice one, will be so appreciated, and I will thank you immensely. Lastly, if you'd like to talk to me about anything at all, feel free to send me an email at james@alcoholfreelifestyle.com. I do read and respond to every email. And you can also follow me on Instagram at James Swanwick. Send me a message there. And I look forward to connecting with you soon. Catch you on the next one.